Okay, right.
Yep. Back to Asakusa.
I wonder if he's gonna be super pissed too, because maybe the brother's in on it. It's like,
Maybe.
wait, how are you not there?
Right. Like, they've been keeping her the whole time.
What? Okay.
Alright, here we go. Oh my.
Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come?
It's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I asked her to go talk to you, but you sent her away.
This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely, if you needed to talk to me, you could have come yourself.
Wait, what? No! If I came alone, you'd just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see.
See? What are you talking about? Where did you get that? Put that away.
So you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me.
That is not true. I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place?
Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito.
Mai, I understand that you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you.
You're wrong. Back in April, when Maya was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was looking for. A mask your family is connected to.
Looking for it? I suppose I've been a fool to think I could keep the truth of our family's past from you.
The past? Does this have to do with Mom and Dad?
Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child, before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult called the Kamenkai, of which our parents were members.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you about cultists?
It's always a cult.
Yep. A cult? You're kidding. How did your parents get mixed up in that?
I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. It was a group led by a guru named Takimasa, who promised a simpler life away from hypocrisy and falseness of city life. Our parents both had master's degrees, and my mother was on her way to earning her PhD. They chose to give up their lives and careers to follow this mystic and live at a
Oh
compound.
my god.
That seems bad.
Yeah.
The Kamenkai was of many such groups back then. I was a child and didn't understand, but when I think about how our parents were deceived and what they put me and Mai through, it's unforgivable. The mask was at the compound, but why they had it or what they believed it could do, I don't know.
Do you think there are any members of the Kamenkai left who know?
No, you see, there are no surviving members.
As is tradition with most cults.
They died. All of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and me trailing behind. Once we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me our parents were dead, and she didn't seem that sad. It was as if she expected it. The government censored much of what happened, so I was never really able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak about it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in those woods was all a bad dream. If it wasn't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring what happened couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent much more time trying to find out about the Kamenkai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents would willingly give up their lives and abandon us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace.
Mom and Dad died while part of some cult? I don't believe it.
It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding it from you, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma, it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it a secret. There's no way we could live normal lives with the stigma of the Kamenkai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing kendo gave me some measure of control over my life again. But Grandma, who made a choice to leave her only daughter behind, she always seemed to carry the guilt of it with her. She started going out at night, babbling about how she was looking for Mom. When she'd come home, she would have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. What a weird thing to do, but okay.
Yeah.
They found her wandering in the sewers holding nothing but the mask. The same one the Cole compound all those years before, and the one you hold now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life.
That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place.
I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air. Or maybe someone gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it.
Yeah, no shit.
A murderous aura that makes you want to murder.
Right? Wait, Grandma was looking for Mom? In the sewers? I don't remember any of this.
You were in the dorms at school at the time. Grandma's strange behavior was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time you returned to Kamakura. Detective, what exactly is it you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of any use to you.
I assume you've heard about what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, Mai, you've helped plenty, but I have to do this on my own.
Ito was right. I apologize for not telling you all this sooner, but you can't get involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I lost you on that day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you now.
Alright. Thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai.
You're right, Mai. I'll come visit you soon. It looks like she's gone. Mai's not here, so there's no need to be coy. No doubt possessing that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I would never have imagined on my own. There was always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mai again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint, though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man. On this street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on the way in. An old historian named Yasuhisa, right?
Yep.
Yasuhisa, first try.
Good job.
Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask as truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he might be the best person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally about other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information.
Hopefully you can shed some light on what it really is.
I hope so, but please, detective, be careful.
Alright.
Okay, well, there you go. We're done in the dojo.
Time to go to the tea shop.
Clean, empty dojo.
Wonder if it's bubble tea.
I really doubt that it's bubble tea.
I'm surprised she didn't run into any of her fellow police officers.
Yeah.
You
Just
know?
when class was not in session, I guess.
Right? Like, the timing on that was a little...
Triangle.
Hold on. Gotta take a sip of water there.
Triangle. Yeah.
Nice job. Yay. Alright. All of a sudden we can magically enter the tea shop.
Right. We wouldn't want to go in there before.
Great.
Welcome. Come in. Do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue.
Alright, I like this guy's look. It's very classy. He definitely looks like a historian.
Oh, yeah.
He rolls his own cigarettes too.
He's got a very historic fedora.
Yes.
Yes. How can I help you?
Are you Yasuhisa? Takashi told me to come speak with you.
Oh? And how is Mr. Kawana? Still as prickly as ever, I suppose.
It's everybody's favorite word to describe him is prickly.
Prickly.
He's only like 22, you guys. Leave him
Very
alone.
prickly young man. I've always found him to be wise beyond his years, though not perhaps by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know. What does Mr. Kawana think I can help you with?
I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamenkai, the group his family got mixed up in.
A more difficult question than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name.
Uh-oh.
The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the guru Togamasa. The second is an ancient order, over 1,000 years old. What is that you're holding?
I was told it's related to the Kamenkai, the newer one, and that you could tell me about it.
That explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many, many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet a mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history.
I think it might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that.
But that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up.
Relic? If it's from the Kamenkai cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic.
Misguided and deceptive though he was, Takamasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, is it not?
Yeah, I guess so. Only, I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it.
For instance?
Like why... now that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real. Why you feel a strong will exerting itself on you.
That's very specific.
Right?
Oh yes, I know all about those things too.
How could you know about that?
When Takamasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though, unlike most, I don't discount each phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows?
Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise.
Most interesting. Tell me, detective. Oh, apologies. Do you mind if I call you that?
I don't remember telling you I was a detective.
My mistake. You must forgive me. A slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have such a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. and you do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever it is you're chasing. Tell me, does telling you that your experiences are not an illusion provide you with any level of comfort?
I'm not sure, but I do feel something. Maybe hope? It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground.
Ah, yes, knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such importance would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate, pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes, and our ends from the minute we come into existence? Or, conversely, is our thread subject to the chaos inherent in the universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds, which happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short and which are followed?
You tell me. I don't know. That's up to you. I'll tell you what. I mean, I think left, but I don't know. Maybe he's right. I don't know. Could be left. Maybe right.
Let's go with fate.
Let's
I
go
like
with
that.
fate. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Not what I would.
the least scientific answer.
Sure. Yes, of course. Maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of your control as of late.
Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that at all since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Kamenkai. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for.
Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favor. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel it could shed a great deal of light on the subject.
What kind of book?
A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer.
Mask bearer. That's, well, that's me, right?
Although you carry it, it does not make you its bearer per se. All will become clearer when the book is returned to me.
Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking?
Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building, in fact. As I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop.
He's right outside. This won't take long. I'll be right back.
Okay, this seems like a trap or a bit.
Or something weird.
Did he say it was stolen, or is it? Oh, it's missing.
It's missing.
Not inherently stolen. This guy?
Okay, they're gone, so...
Is it octopus balls?
Is it octopus balls?
The old tea shop next door. Isn't that place closed down?
Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it?
Pure conjecture on this one, but I think it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street, on account of him being the only one I ever see there.
Alright, what's going on here?
You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. He might be a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh, man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time, I ought to ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, huh? Word through the grapevine is that he's a regional champion or something, and has trained with some of the best. Lots of cops train with him too, so he must be good. Maybe he's not so crazy after all.
Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there, maybe recently? I was led to believe you would.
Jeez.
Go on.
Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but I spent a lot of time outside of it, and half the time the door's wide open. So one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or anything, I was just curious is all. Curiosity killed the cat though, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there was all sorts of weird stuff lying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it wasn't super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps sometimes, so I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know? So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And back then he was going through some particularly tough times. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss,
Oh my.
had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. Can you believe that shit? He still talks about it.
No, he doesn't talk about it.
He still doesn't talk about it, like he's in denial or something. Whoops, I got off track again. I was heading to visit him with the ill-gotten book when I got this phone call saying he was in the hospital. He OD'd on expensive sake and sleeping pills.
Jeez.
Can you believe that shit?
Stop.
Thank God, that idiot decided not to do it at the bar he owns with the door unlocked.
Wait.
Wait. We know...
Daiso?
Oh, no!
Oh my god.
Okay. A customer came in and called an ambulance. If it wasn't for that, I'm not sure he'd still be here.
That's quite a story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital. Wanted to show him that even when he was at his lowest, there was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped for a minute anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he was right back to that toxic little bar. I hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's my little brother and I worry about him. He hasn't been answering my phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in a cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding onto it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he wouldn't let it go. All he has to do is sign some papers and move on, but he can't do it. Something about it has his claws deep within him. I've been trying to get him to join my business for years. He's a great chef, and we can make a killing. Maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passersby and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Perhaps, or plus, food stands are doing really well abroad, I hear. Much better than wasting away in Shinjuku, at any rate.
Shinjuku?
Yeah, we know him. Okay. Yeah, in a slimy little side street. Can you believe that shit? Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably still got it at his place. You want the address?
Wait. I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Daiso, right?
You know him? Small world. Probably was the smile on my face that threw you off. Tell him his brother says hi. While you're at it, tell him takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine. And to get his little butt, or just butt, I don't know why I added little butt.
Yeah.
To get his little butt over here.
I'll do that. Thanks for all your help.
We'll go get his little butt.
Haruto gets really excited when he's talking about octopus balls.
It's true.
All right.
These little octopus balls.
We gotta go and talk to Daiso again.
Okay.
Get that book.
It's a series of webs that all lead back to other characters. Whatever. I bet every character is important.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, the only guy who hasn't done anything yet is the guy who owns, was it that manga shop? That
Yeah.
and he just disappeared.
He disappeared in the middle of his shift or whatever.
I don't trust it.
Is this Daiso's place? Yep. Okay, we're here.
Hi, Ayame. How can I help you today?
Oh, he's definitely not smiling. Aw. Hey, Daiso. How are things?
Oh, same old, same old.
Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today.
Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances?
Who knows? Maybe he was preordained.
Who'd have thought? So is he still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything?
He is. He said to remind you that takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine and that you should go and help him.
Yeah, you talked to Haruto, alright. Always the optimist, that guy.
I actually have a favor to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago?
The only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Ayame.
He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital.
Oh, what makes you think that I was in the hospital? I don't go to the hospital for checkups. Besides, that adult's bringing me stuff all the time, always trying to drag me kicking and screaming over to where the grass is greener.
This would have been more recently.
Hmm?
After a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. That idiot always running his mouth. Friggin' traitor. Those were just some, hard times. Nothing serious. Just, I drank too much, that's all. I'm sorry, Detective. I don't want to talk about it.
Alright, understood. I'm not here to dig up bad memories, Daiso.
Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back at in the hospital. It was one of those ones that I used to read when I was younger, when things weren't quite so complicated. Wait here a second. I might have it in the storeroom still. Dang it. Sorry, Ayami, hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this stuff out, huh? Here it is. It's yours, Detective. Hey, no wonder I recognize that photo you brought by. It's the same girl, an idol named Ruby.
Ruby.
Gamba.
Reina.
No, Ruby. See? It says right here on the cover. Pretty crazy that it was still in my shop. Guess that means you're still looking for her. I wonder why we keep running into each other.
Must be fate.
I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose.
Huh. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this?
Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some old junk.
Thank you.
See you around, Ayami.
Take care, Daiso. Alright. But that's not a book.
No.
So...
It's interesting, but it's not a book.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have the code for that, right? Can we look at this magazine?
I don't think so. We don't have an inventory.
Okay.
It'll just come up. Back and forth, back and forth.
Back and forth, back and forth. We went and got the magazine. It's not the book.
Oh, it's not. That was a checkpoint, though. Alright, let's go back into this haunted old tea shop.
Sure.
Welcome back, Detective. Is that my book I see in your hands?
Guess I'm a little surprised. Are you trying to tell me Reina is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe.
Does that not surprise you? After all, it is she whom you see in the dark, is it not?
The dark. That's what the collector called it, too. How'd Reina get mixed up in all of this?
I only know that fate has intervened in the girl's life has intertwined the girl's life with the forces in the mask. But machinations behind those circumstances are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men in black and white pictures, but that book and that girl are as much as part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present and the people to each other are not always apparent. But peel back the layers of connection, and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it now, all forming a neat and tidy line.
Reina was some sort of idol living in Tokyo, not part of a sleeper cell in some cult. It doesn't add up.
Well, on that, Detective, we can agree. So why don't we start at the beginning? With how the mask ceased to be a mere object, the story starts in ancient times, in the year 1333.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. I was just a wee boy back then. At that time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan.
Is that true?
I don't know.
Let's look that up. On the Google someday.
Led by the Hijo clan, it was
Hojo.
a time... The Hojo clan. It was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment.
Aha.
Peace among men is cyclical, and like so many before them and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nita clan, loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo, led a siege against the... One more time.
Hojo.
Hojo controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded and left a key passage open to the invaders. The Hijo clan fled the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope of victory or escape.
Hojo.
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 Hojo, the wise wolf.
I just got that.
They chose to retain their honor, if you get my meaning. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, including the last 3 regents, committed mass suicide.
Thanks.
However, the Hojo and Nita clans, embroiled in their quests for the Empire, could not see the roles they played in the plans of another group, the religious sect known as the Kamenkai. It is said that in the flames of Kamakura, a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. Spooky, huh? A girl lost to the histories who went by the name Chikako Shichijo was the last survivor of Kamenkai.
Okay, so whatever the Kamenkai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right?
Well, no. They did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned.
She has a mask on now.
Chikako Shichijo, I had it the first time, but it was harder the second time for some reason, did not survive by chance. She was chosen.
Chosen for what?
To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded, to become the first mask bearer.
Mask bearer? The Kamenkai used the deaths of all those people to create this? Why?
Legend has it that the Kamenkai sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning, a place where cause and effect could be changed.
Why? Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that?
To stop it from being abused. Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the true power of the door, you see.
Okay, wait. So tried to control the door to stop the door from being opened and abused, but they did that in doing that.
It sounds an awful lot like that, yeah.
That sounds like a dumb plan, but okay.
Cults are dumb. Usually evil. To a mortal mind obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely. A power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness.
It's true, isn't it? All of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back. Oh, no. Bad.
Some doors, no matter how strongly they call to us, are not meant to be opened. And the Kamenkai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the minds of all who come in contact with it, but it is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy you.
Maybe you're right, but I could at least use it to find my way in the dark, just like the collector said. The only thing I don't get is how Reina is connected to it.
That is a mystery. As Mr. Kawana told you, though, the last known location of the mask was the Kamenkai cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed about the Kamenkai under Takemasa. They existed, and then, on March 4th, 1996, they met their end.
They just made another sacrifice, basically.
Yeah.
It's like their cyclical sacrifice that they have to make to satisfy whatever. Yeah, we know.
There are many theories that the police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it's not something that I have access to.
Well, you're talking to a world-class detective right here.
Sure, yeah, let's just run in there. They'll be so happy to see us.
I know.
Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Kamenkai might help your path to the truth, though I wonder if such an object bred from suffering can truly put an end to it. Is it you who can finally break the terrible cycle? I've spent a long time here. I'm tired. So tired. Farewell, detective.
See you later.
All right, later.
That was an unceremonious way to end that conversation.
Yeah, he's just like,
I've
"I'm
run
gonna
out of
fade away
things
now."
to say. Very sleepy. Goodbye.
Sitting there comfortably, the historian Yasuhisa casually laid out everything I've been experiencing like he was reading it out of a book. A mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to the spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth, an interesting story told to travelers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it relates to Kazuki and Reina. I can't understand it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and a young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's a mask bearer. But how? Yasuhisa, the collector. I thought when I met them, I'd entered their world and could start to understand, however faintly, what was going on. But my intuition as a detective tells me they're hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Day turns to night, the hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore.
Right, we don't really know how long we've actually,
We've been out and about, yeah. Everything's blurring together. Ugh, my head. Maybe I should take my medication? Impossible though it seems, following the old man's hunch is my best bet to finally understand the mask. Even Takahashi didn't know what happened to the Kamenkai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask around and pull a file.
Sure.
It'll be a bit more difficult now,
Well,
I imagine.
Saki doesn't hate us.
No,
We should
helped
exploit
her.
that.
What's the worst that could happen? I should head to HQ and see what I can find.
I think Saki's our... I think
Saki's our girl.
we're going to cash in all our goodwill for Saki, and that we did a favor for her, and then we didn't screw her. That should be enough of a... Again,
Yeah.
video game hat on. That should be enough for her to be the person
Can we
who
go
helps us.
home? Nope, we can't go
Nope.
home.
We are on the track.
We are 5 days off of our medicine.